Unraveling the mysteries of the universe through the laws of physics. Our physical world, governed by 9 immutable physical laws, dances to the singular commandment of the 10th Amini Law, where the essence of our being surrenders to its directive. In this discourse, I shall focus solely on the first and second Amini Laws to aid your comprehension of the universe's secrets. Observing the phenomenon of water flowing from a pitcher unveils the essence of the first law. In each hemisphere, water, upon discharge from a vessel, cascades in various directions. Within each hemisphere's surface area, whirlpools form, spinning in opposite directions in the northern and southern hemispheres. This phenomenon arises from the potent orbital motion of the central gravitational force, known as the A-hole, situated within the zodiacal belt, intricately crafting celestial equatorial alignments. Consequently, Earth falls under its sway, propelled towards its desired trajectory by the extraordinary acceleration into space. This motion is observable in any magnetic body, creating distinct movements on either side of the magnetopause. An object moving behind a dense mass traverses in a clockwise direction or rotates downwards behind the circuit. Conversely, if a body moves within a magnetic field towards the front of a massive object or a black hole, its trajectory reverses, causing it to rotate counterclockwise. Thus, ocean currents and even cyclonic storms in the sky adhere to these laws, displaying a distinct rotational motion in opposite directions and generating a twisting motion on both sides of the mobile magnetic force in the magnetopause region. Indeed, tropical storms, commonly known as cyclonic hurricanes, always rotate counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere, while in the southern hemisphere, they rotate clockwise, thus following 2 opposing directions. Due to these contrasting movements, distinct patterns emerge in the northern and southern hemispheres. Water in the northern hemisphere, indicated by the magnetic pole needle pointing towards the south pole of the Earth, flows differently on either side of the magnetopause region. Furthermore, as Earth orbits around the galactic vicinity within the Milky Way's central zone, it moves counterclockwise, leading the way in this path. The second law of Amini, derived from A-hole's extraordinary force and direction, reveals the motion of celestial bodies in space. A-hole's extraordinary speed and mass, compared to 2 other nearby black holes, dictate the dominant force and direction, governed by the second law of Amini. Mass moves in a straight line towards the whirlpool or gradient rotation of a compact body, rotating in the counterclockwise direction and causing the body to accelerate in that direction. As a result, the path of motion becomes apparent in space. A-hole's velocity in space even exceeds that of the K-hole as it moves forward along its orbit, dragging Earth along its path around the galaxy. The Earth's north pole is drawn towards the opposite pole of A-hole, located at the center of the zodiacal belt, at an angle of 23.5 degrees. This phenomenon leads to precise equinoxes occurring during each complete cycle around the A-hole's abyss. In fact, we record it as Earth's self-rotation around its axis for a duration of 12 epochs. Now, we can perceive our world in a clearer orbital manner and utilize these 2 laws of Amini to describe movements within the Milky Way. As the Sun orbits clockwise closer to the nearest black hole, KH hole, it positions itself in a lower or posterior orbit, thus moving after this black hole in space. Meanwhile, as the KH hole black hole rotates clockwise around the next black hole, K hole, the Sun orbits behind or below this black hole. Since Earth orbits counterclockwise around the Sun, it is slightly ahead of the Sun and behaves similarly to the upper orbit in the constituent quarks of an atom. And since the sum of these 3 movements resembles the constituent neutrons connected by 2 lower quarks and 1 upper quark, our space behaves similarly to a neutron in the nucleus of an atom. Our celestial world, by being in the bottom orbit of the A-hole black hole and in opposite orbit to our mundane world, which is in the front orbit of the A-hole, connects through the middle portal of the A-hole for energy exchange between them. And since the Earth orbits counterclockwise around the Sun, it creates negative energy behind the A-hole, while in the world opposite to the A-hole, as the celestial bodies move in reverse material motion, it creates positive energy. Therefore, all movements in the orbit in front of the A-hole are opposite to the movement of our mundane world, and for this reason, they are called our opposite world, because positive charges prevail in it, and it is similar to the constituent quarks of a proton in its nucleus, where two upper quarks and one lower quark coexist with each other in rotation.